So then we got DJ Diamond Cuts. Are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to all DJs out there.
Good.
Shout out, shout out.
The question I have is, because I do a lot of research as far as the salaries of DJs, and my question is, why is it that the EDM DJs, how is it that their pay scale is totally different than what we do?
They're artists. They're playing their own music. So when they perform, it's like they're performing as an artist, not necessarily a DJ. They're DJs who happen to be artists. And because of that, they charge more money.
Okay.
Pack a stadium like Busta Rhymes or Jay-Z, the crowd, the audiences come to see them play their music, not necessarily other DJs' music. So that's what the difference is.
Okay.
I'd like to piggyback that Dr. Butcher made. Brother, you asked a very important question, because DJs from our world don't aspire for much. You know, DJs from our world, their goal is to land a residency at a bar or at a club, and that's it. And they don't see beyond that. And these EDM DJs see beyond the residency at the bar or the club. And at some point, DJs from our world need to understand that there's more to this than $150 for a 6-hour set. You know what I mean? That there's more to this than entering a battle and winning a plastic trophy or a mixer. You know, these EDM DJs that are getting 50 grand, 100 grand,
million,
you know, playing in front of 20,000, 50,000 people could care less about winning a plastic trophy for a battle. And I'm not saying that battles aren't important, because, you know, I did it myself. And I get the creativity involved in that and wanting to be the best scratcher or the best beat juggler or gaining respect. But at some point, understand that DJing is a pathway to develop yourself as a creative being, not just a person that DJs for $150 at a bar for 6 hours.
Right.
You know what I mean? What Dr. Butcher said about the difference between an EDM DJ and DJs from our ilk, you know, hip hop DJs or more urban DJs, let's say, the difference is, yes, they see themselves as artists. You know what I mean? So they're producing music, they're collaborating with singers, and when they get booked, they're playing their music that people know and are familiar with. Hence, when you think about The Odd Couple, we don't just hang our hats on the fact that we competed or the fact that we DJ'd for Common or that I DJ'd for Akinelli. Like, to this day, 2020, we're still putting out albums because we are artists. Right. So, you know, any DJ out there that's watching this stream, that's taking part in this conversation, I'm not saying you, bro, I'm just speaking in general terms. Anyone out there that's mad at an EDM DJ because they make so much money but they don't have skills needs to look in the mirror and reassess why they do this. Because, or maybe not why they do this, but reassess their approach to doing this and understand that being the best scratcher, you might 1%, if that, of the music industry. And the music industry at large honestly doesn't care whether you could do an orbit flare or whether you could do a boomerang. Like, can you think past that scratch and past that battle and take your DJing in a direction where you make music? You use the talent that you have as a DJ to make music, not just to focus on individual skills. You know what I mean? And if you do that, you could become a Qbert. You could become an 8-track and you know, make a living off this art form, and do what you love and make good money. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Yeah, because I think most people put limitations to where they think the art form can go or where it should be. And you can ask Rob. I mean, coming home from school and college, we would talk about, what if one day you were teaching a class as a professor DJing? And I know years later when that happened, we reflected on that conversation because it came to fruition. And Rob was teaching at a college and teaching students. And at that point, no one had ever done that before. So that was a revelation for us to see things like that happen. More things kept happening, which is awesome. You just got to stay open to that. Anything is possible. No one is the best. You just have to be the best you can be.
Right.
That's simple.